Dear students, today we will discuss one basic concept from optimization techniques, that is network crashing. So before discussing what is network crashing, we see some basic concepts from this network crashing also. So what is network, what is a project and all those things. So project network diagram, in which the two terms are very important. Well, first one is a project, second one is a network. So in a project is a set of interdependent activities which are planned in the way that the project will be completed in effective and efficient manner, or we can say smoothly the project will be completed. And for that purpose, what different activities we are identifying, if those activities we are representing with the help of a diagram, then that diagram is called as project network diagram. So we'll see what are different components of project network diagram first. So in case of project network diagram, basically you have to understood the four basic concepts or terms that are used in project network diagram. The first one is the activity. Activity is nothing but a process that you have to perform for a specific time period, that is called as activity. In case of software development life cycle, you might be no, you are knowing that there are a number of activities you have to perform, like requirement analysis, feasibility study, system analysis, design, coding, testing. So these are activities. Like a software development activity for any project, we have to identify different activities to run the particular project. So this is the first point, that is identify activity. Second one is a predecessor. Predecessor means what? To start any activity, we have to start from somewhere. So which activity, after completion of which activity the new activity is starting, the previous activity is called as predecessor. To start any activity, we need some basic preparation or basic activities. So after completion of that activities, new activity we are starting. So the old activities or basic activities called as predecessors. And after completing the particular activity, if new activity is starting, then the new activity is called as successors. Here, when the activity starts and when activity finishes, then when activity finishes, that is called as event. That event is particularly completed. So for the network diagram, there are two events, tail event and head event, or you can say tail node and head node. For every activity, we are using two events, from when the activity started and when the activity is ended. And to represent that, we are using circles. And the circles are called as event. The activity from where it is started, that is called as tail node, and where the activity is finished, that node is called as head node. The second point is guidelines for drawing network diagram. How to draw network diagram? For that purpose, there are some rules, there are some guidelines. The first rule is that before any activity can begin, its preceding activity must be completed. Means when you are drawing any network diagram, you have to check whether all predecessors of that activity is finished or not. When the predecessors activities are finished, then you have to start your new activity. Second, arrows indicate logical precedence. Means the direction of arrow shows which is the tail activity and which is the head activity. From where, what is the progress or direction of your activities. Flow of diagram is from left to right. When you are drawing a diagram, you have to take into consideration that the flow of diagram should be from left top corner to bottom right corner. In this fashion, or can say from left to right, the flow of diagram should be flowed. Most important thing you have to take into consideration is when you are drawing a diagram, the arrow should not be intersect. You have to take due care that while drawing a diagram, there should not be intersection. And last one, dangling should be avoided. Means what? For a network diagram, there must be only one starting node and only one ending node. So if any node don't have end node, then that situation is called a dangling situation. So in that case, that node you have to join with end node. So if you do this if you consider these guidelines, then it is very easy for you to draw network diagram. The next point is, what are different approaches of drawing network diagram? There are basically two ways. Approaches are nothing but ways to draw network diagram. The first one is activity on arrow. It is also called as activity on arc. Means what? If you are writing the name of activity on arrow, in the given example, the A, B, C, D, these are the names of activity, and we are given those names on the arrow. So such type of diagrams is called activity on arc diagram or activity on arrow diagram. And second one is activity on node. So in this case, when you are writing the name of activity on node, these circles are called as nodes. So when you write node activity on this node, then that diagram is called as activity on node diagram. So these are the basic two approaches to draw network diagram. Okay, while drawing network diagram, there are some situations where you have to add some dummy activity. Dummy activity is activity whose cost is zero. Dummy activity is activity whose cost nothing but time required to complete that particular activity is treated as zero, because that is dummy activity. So what are different situations when you have to add that dummy activity? The first situation that when two or more activities start and end at the same node. So in a network diagram, there is one rule for there must not be two activities which are having same starting node and same ending node. So if there is a situation where two activities are having same starting node and same ending node, and if you want to draw that on network diagram, in that case you have to use dummy node. So suppose this activity B and C both are having tail node A and head node D. Okay, we can say predecessor activity A and successor activity D. So to represent that, because we cannot draw two arrows from A to D, that is an invalid rule of drawing network diagram. So in that case, what we have done, we have added one extra node, and with the head of that node, we have connected the activity with successor activity with dummy activity. So here, actually the path from this node, means successor predecessor A to reach successor D, is that A to B and B to D. That is, we are directly moving from this way. But two activities B and C both are having same predecessor and same successor. In that case, I have added one dummy node, and with a dummy arrow or dummy activity, I have solved this tie. Second one is that when two or more activities share the same precedence, or we can say predecessor activities, but not all the predecessors are shared. See, one simple example here. What is the case here that the D activity is starting from B and A. The D activity is starting from B and A. So in that case, I have added one dummy activity from this node to this node. So indirectly, at this node, only one predecessor is there, that is A, and that A is followed over here. So D is having two predecessors, B and A. So to show that, because you cannot say A is activity which is having two successors. First one is a C and second one is a D. So you cannot draw two different activities. If I draw this activity from here, then okay, so instead of drawing two arrows, then the A activity you have to write A here also and A here also. That is the wrong way, because C is needed predecessor A, D is also needed predecessor A. So I cannot draw two arrows, here also A and here also A. So to avoid that, I have used this dummy activity. So you can solve such type of issues by using dummy activities. Then last thing we will see how to draw network diagram. So while drawing network diagram, some rules, some guidelines you have to take into consideration. First, identify the specific activities. From the total overall project, you have to identify to complete the project which are the major activities that you have to perform. Then determine the proper sequence of activities. So once you identify the activities, you have to identify what is the predecessor activity for particular activity and what are the successor activities. Means which activity must complete to start a particular activity and which activity must start once complete the current activity. So previous activity is called as predecessor, next activity is called as successor. That you have to identify the proper sequence of activities. Then with the help of rules of drawing network diagram, you have to construct a network diagram. Just we have discussed rules of network diagram. There should not be dangling situation. The network diagram must flow from left to right. Every network diagram must have only one starting node and only one ending node. So all those rules you have to take into consideration, and on the basis of the predecessor sequence, the sequence you have determined, you have to draw the network diagram. Then estimate the time required for each activity, because in network diagrams we are using for CPM as well as PERT. But in case of PERT, the estimated times are not given. They are given in your exam or in example, the optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. So these times were given, and on the basis of that, using some formula, you have to calculate the estimate times. So fourth point is you have to calculate the estimated time, and then by putting the values of estimated time for each activities, you have to determine the critical path. Critical path is nothing but the path which requires maximum time to complete the particular project. And what critical part we have identified, that you have to draw on your network diagram with some extra other color while making that arrow size thick. So these are some rules to draw a network diagram. Now we will see the example on network crashing. One example that is appeared for SPPV exams, April 2019. The data on normal time and cost along with crash times and cost associated with the projects are shown below. So here we can see what are that. These are the some activities that particular project is having, A, B, C, D, and these are the predecessor activities. As we have already said and discussed, that predecessor activity means to start this activity, which activity you have to start. We have to finish first. To start this activity, we have to take care of whether these activities are finished or not. So here dash indicates these are the beginning activities. These are the starting activities. So from this B, what we can understood, to start the C activity, the B activity must finish. Okay. So from this predecessor, what we can understood, from B activity, 3 successor activities must start. From this activity, C starts, from B to D, B to E. So from B, 3 activities are starting, and G activity is started when you merge A, D, and C. These 3 activities you have to merge together, and then G activity will start. We'll see how to draw that network diagram. So these are the times required to complete the particular project in normal way. If you complete the particular project in normal way, then what is the time required? For that, what is the cost required? That cost is given in 1000 rupees. The crash is nothing but this activity, how many weeks you can reduce. It is possible for you to reduce the activity time. So maximum activity you can reduce up to 7 weeks. The total normal time required is 10 weeks, but you can reduce that activity up to 7 weeks. And for that, for each week, the cost required is 30,000. If you reduce the particular activity up to 7 weeks, the cost for that particular activity will be 30,000. So all those things are given, and what they are asking, they have given that the indirect cost is rupees 400 per day. Means per day you have to pay 400 rupees. So if you reduce the activity by 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, then that will be adding more values to that will decrease, we can say, indirect cost. That will decrease indirect cost. So here actually they have given one correction. This rupees 400 is not for a day. This is 400 per week. They have given one correction in this exam. So this is value for week. What they have asked, they have asked to draw a network diagram, find project duration and associated cost, and find optimum project duration and optimum cost of project by crossing relevant activities. Now we see how to do all those activities. Okay, so we'll start the example now. In this example, they have given that indirect cost per week, that is actually week, is rupees 400 rupees they have given. Also, they have given the activities, predecessors, normal time and crash time. Now, from these values, we have to calculate the crash time and crash limit and crash load. What is the crash limit? So actually these are value activities, predecessors, these are given in example. I have taken all those values as it is. So now the first point I have to calculate crash limit. Crash limit is nothing but to complete this activity, maximum time, the normal time required is 10 weeks and it is allowed up to 7 weeks. So how many weeks is in our hand to crash? That is nothing but crash limit. So you have to divide normal time minus crash time is equal to crash limit. So if you do this subtraction, 10 minus 7 is equal to 3. Likewise, 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So if you do this such type of mathematical operations, you will get crash limit for each activity. Means how many weeks you can crash that activities. Then we have to calculate crash slope. So what is the crash slope value? Means what? If you crash the particular activity, then what is the amount you have to bear? What extra amount you have to bear, that is nothing but crash load. So for that formula is crash cost minus normal cost divided by normal time minus crash time. So if you do this calculation, that is crash cost minus normal cost divided by normal time minus crash time, you will get these values. After solving this, after calculating crash slope values for all activities A, B, C, D that are given in example, you will get all crash slope values. So the first thing you have to identify crash limit, then you have to identify crash slope. So once crash limit and crash slope is identified, you have to identify what is the maximum normal time, or okay, say maximum normal cost required for your project. So for that purpose, what you are doing, we are just adding all normal cost values. So if you add all normal cost values, you will get total normal cost of your project. So total normal cost of your project is rupees 73,000 rupees is the normal cost. Now we'll see the next part. From these values, we have to draw one network diagram. So we'll see how to draw a network diagram. They have given that the activity A and B are having predecessors dash. Dash indicates root node. So I have selected this as one as a root node, and from that I have started two activities A and B. So A and B I have written over A and B. For A activity, what is time? What is time required? That is normal time is 10. That I have written over here. For B activity, normal time required is 8. I have written over here. Then from B activity, see different C, D, and E. These three activities are starting. C, D, and E. So I have started from this is a B activity. Here is completed over here. So from B, C, D, and E activities are started. So I have just drawn three arrows: C, D, and E. See now, activity F is starting from activity E. So activity E is finished over here. I have started activity F from here. Now what you have to take care here, activity G is starting from A, D, and C. Activity A I have merged here. Activity C I have to merge here an activity D. So I cannot directly join this D activity to this activity, because as per the norm of network diagrams, two activities should not have same starting node and same ending node. So for that, I have added one a dummy node, and with the dummy node, I have connected to this event 3, so that G activity will get three predecessors A, C, and D, because these are the requirement for this G activity. To start this G activity, A, C, and D, or A, D, and C, this activity must complete. And to show that this activity will start when A, C, and D activity will finish. So this is my last activity, G activity. So I have to connect this F activity to the last activity, that is G activity. Because what is the next of this F is not given. So F is in dangling state. To avoid a dangling state, what I have done, I have connected F activity to event where G activity finishes. So G activity finishes at event number event 6. So I have connected this activity to event 6. So in this fashion, for the given problem, we have to draw network diagram. Okay, then what is next? We have to identify the critical path. So what is critical path? To start, the path is nothing but the longest path from start node to end node. So to reach from node 1 to node 6, different paths are 1 to 3, 3 to 6, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 6, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 6, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 6. And the cost associated for each activity is also given. So if you add the cost required, or you can say time required to reach from node 1 to node G, you can identify the maximum time required. So in this case, the maximum time required is 26. So that is the time for activity B, 8 weeks, for activity D, 6 weeks, and for activity G, 12 weeks. If you do addition of these activities, you will get highest, or you can say maximum time required for these activities. Then next we have to identify network crashing. So we'll see how to crash the network. For that purpose, you have to take into consideration the network diagram that we have already drawn. Now we have to identify the project duration and cost that is expected when you crash the network. So you have to draw the same network that you have drawn to identify the critical path, and you have to use only the cost value, or you can say time values that are given. So here I have drawn the network. Then the first iteration we are doing for crashing the network. So what is the activity? You have to identify possible path. So in this diagram, possible paths are 1 to 3, 3 to 6. And for that, the cost is 1 to 2 cost is 10 weeks, and 3 to 6 cost is 12 weeks. The total cost is 22 weeks. Likewise, second path is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 6. And cost associated for that particular path is 8 weeks plus 5 weeks plus 12 weeks. So like this way, what are different paths you have to identify for the given network diagram. For each path, what is the total duration to complete the particular path you have to identify, and when you calculate the total time required for each path, from that you have to identify the path which is having maximum value, and that is your critical path. So in this case, the path 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 3 to 6, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 3, and 3 to 6 is my critical path. That is shown in this diagram with the red line. So red line indicates my critical path. Okay, then next, total project time is 26 weeks. and the total cost to calculate the total cost of the project, the formula is total cost is equal to total normal cost plus indirect cost. So what is indirect cost? Indirect cost is nothing but project duration multiplied by indirect cost per week. That indirect cost is given in your example, that is 400 rupees per week. We have also calculated total project duration, that is 26 weeks. So 26 into 400, and the total normal cost we have identified using this. Just we have added all normal cost, and that value is 73,000. So this we have taken over here. So 73,000 plus 26 into 400. When you solve this example, you will get 83,400 is your total cost of project completion. Now you have identified which is a critical path. So you have to prepare one table, and in that table you have to write the critical path. Within that critical path, what are different activities are involved, that you have to write. The first activity is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 3, and 3 to 6. Then you have to write the crash limit and slope cost values. Crash limit and slope cost values we have calculated over here. This is nothing but my crash limit, and this is a crash value. So activity 1 to 2, activity 1 to 2 is nothing but activity B. And for B activity, crash limit is 2 and crash slope is 2,500. That I have written over it. Crash limit 2 and slope cost is cost slope is 2,500 rupees. Likewise, what is the crash limit for activity 2 to 4, 4 to 3, and 3 to 6? We have to take from this table and write in this table. Okay, so once you identified the critical activities, crash limit, and slope values, then you have to identify which is the minimum slope value, among the cost slope values. In this case, 0 is a minimum value, but the crash limit is 0, because 4 to 3, this activity is a dummy activity. 4 to 3, this is a dummy activity, and we have discussed that dummy activity is having, you can say, cost or time 0. So 0 activity you cannot crash. It is already exhausted his crash limit. So which is a minimum value? Then in this case, 250 is a minimum value. So we have to mark that value as a minimum value, and it is possible. You have to check what was the crash limit, 4. So we can crash that activity by 1 week. So I have crashed this activity by 1 week. 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. Means activity 3 to 6. Activity 3 to 6. What was the actual time? Actual time was 12 weeks. So 12 weeks I have reduced by 1. So by scratching the 12, I have written over here 11. So in first activity, in first iteration, I have crashed this activity by 1 week. 12 weeks to 11 weeks. Getting? Now I have to start second iteration. In second iteration, you have to identify possible path for your project and their associated cost. So in this case, the cost 3 to 6 we have to take as 11, because in previous iteration we have taken the cost 3 to 6, 12. Now we have crashed this activity by 1. 12 I have crashed by 1, so it becomes 11. So in second iteration I have taken the cost, we can say time required to complete activity, starting from 3 to ending with 6, from 12 to 11. And then after finding the possible path by entering their relative time required to complete the particular activities, you have to identify the maximum cost, or you can say maximum time required to complete the particular project. And in this case also, the project maximum, the critical path is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 3, and 3 to 6. And the cost is 25 weeks. So we have identified this is critical path. Then total project time is 25 weeks, and total cost is equal to, the formula is here different one. Total cost is equal to previous cost plus slope cost minus indirect cost. So what is the previous cost? previous cost we have calculated 83,400. Then slope cost. Slope cost means which network we have crashed. Activity 3 to 6 we have crashed, that is activity Z. For activity Z, the cost value is 250. That is crash log value is 250. That we have taken here. 250, and indirect cost that is given for per day per week, the indirect cost is 400 rupees. So if you solve this example, you will get 83,250. Now you have to check whether the current time, so the current total cost is minimum than the previous cost or not. Here the previous cost was 83,400 and now we are getting 83,250. So this is a less value. So it is we are having a chance to crash the network by 1 week. So how to do that? How to do that? So in that case also we have to identify which is the maximum time cost value, time value, that is the critical path. That critical path you have to identify. Then critical activities you have to identify. Then the respective crash limits you have to write, and their slope cost value you have to write. And from the cost slope values you have to identify which is the minimum value. This is the minimum value. So it is possible for me to crash this activity 3 by 1 week. So 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, and that I have to change 11 to 10. So here I have crashed this activity by 1 week. So we get 10 weeks is my current time to complete the activity Z. Okay. Then I have to start new iteration. For new iteration, identify different possible paths, add the corresponding time value required to complete the particular activities, and calculate total time required for the particular path. From that, you have to identify maximum cost value. Here we are taking activity 3 to 6 duration is 10 weeks, because we have crashed this activity from 11 weeks to 10 weeks. 1 week we have crashed. So here I am taking the value 10 and I get the same path as a critical path because which is having maximum time values. So total project time is 24 weeks. Then total cost is equal to previous cost plus slope cost minus indirect cost. So in previous, what was the cost? 83,250, that I have taken as it is 83,250 plus cost slope. Cost slope, we know that the cost slope value for activity 3 to 6, this is related to activity Z is 3 to 6. The slope cost value is 250, that I have taken over as it is, and rupees 400 is indirect cost. After solving this example, we will get 83,100. We come to know that the previous cost was 83,250 and the current cost is 83,100. So it is decreasing. So still we are having a scope to crash the activity. So in that case, you have to write as it is the crash path. Then what are activities that are involved in crash activities, their crash limits and slope cost. After identifying the slope cost values, you have to mark which is the minimum value 250 and what was the crash limit 2. So 2 is not equal to 0. So still we are having a scope to crash this activity by 1. So I am crashing this activity by 1. So I will get now here 1, and 3 to 6 activity I have crashed. So I have to crash 10 and write 9 here, because now I have having 9 weeks in my hand to complete this activity Z. Then next iteration will start. In next iteration, we have to identify what are different possible paths. That possible paths you have to write. Their corresponding time required to complete the path is you have to write and do the calculation. And from that you can identify which is the maximum time required to complete the particular project. That is 23. So 23 is my critical path. And cost required to complete the particular project is total cost is equal to previous cost plus slope cost minus indirect cost. The previous cost was 83,100 that I have taken as it is, plus cost to slope. So for this activity we have crashed, and the slope value for this activity is 250. I have to take as it is, minus indirect cost that is given in your example. And after solving, we get the answer 82,950, which is the less than the previous cost value. So still we are having scope to crash network activities. So here the network critical path was 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 3 to 6, and 4 to 3 and 3 to 6. Critical activities you have to identify, and their crash limit you have to identify. So crash limit was 1. So still we are having scope to crash this activity by 1 week, because the minimum slope value was 250. So crash limit was 1. So we have to crash that activity by 1. Now the crash limit became 0. So I have crashed the activity 9 and written the value required to complete the activity G from 3 to 6 is 8 weeks. Now next iteration 5. So in iteration 5 we have to write different possible paths, then what different times we are required to complete the particular path and corresponding values to complete the particular project you have to identify, and from that which is maximum value you have to take into consideration. So here maximum value is 22. So total project time is 22 weeks. Total cost is equal to previous cost plus slope cost minus indirect cost. So in this case, previous cost was 82,950. 250 is the cost for this 3 to 6 activity, and the indirect cost is rupees 400 per week. So you will get 82,800 rupees as a total project completion cost. So this is also less than the previous one. So still I am having chance to crash my network. So we have to write the critical path and critical activities that are involved in that particular path. Then you have to check slope values. So in this slope values, the minimum value is 250, but crash limit is now 0. So you cannot crash this activity. So which is next minimum value? The next minimum value is 2000, and this 2000 is for the activity whose path is 2 to 4. Okay, 2 to 4, 2 to 4, and the cost was 6. Okay, so what I have done here, I have to crash this activity by 1. Crash this activity by 1, that is equal to 1. So what we will get? The total time required for this activity was 6. I have crashed by 1, so I will get 5. Then we will do the next iteration. The possible paths are 1 to 3, 3 to 6. All possible paths to reach from node 1 to node 6 we have to identify, and the cost incurred to complete each and every activity you have to write. So when you write all the cost, you will get the total cost required to complete the particular project if you follow first possible path, second, third, or fourth. In this case, you will get 21 is the critical path, and 21 is the critical path for second, third, and fourth possible path. So we will see the total project time is 21 weeks, and total cost is equal to previous cost plus slope cost minus indirect cost. Okay, so previous cost was 82,800. I have taken as it is, plus slope cost value. For this activity 2 to 4, slope cost value is rupees 2000. I have taken as it is 2000, and indirect cost is given in our example, that is 400. So if you solve this example, you will get 84,400. Now you have to take what was the previous cost? It was 82,800, and now current cost is 84,400. Means the cost is increasing. So when the cost is increasing, then you have to identify it is not possible to crash the network from this for this 21 weeks. So when you crash that, for 22 weeks, the cost was 82,800, and for 21 weeks, the cost is 84,400. So here the cost for 21 weeks project is more than cost of 22 weeks project. So we cannot crash project after 22 weeks because the cost is increasing. After 22 weeks, still you are decreasing the, we can say, crashing the activities, then the cost is increasing. So it is not feasible for us. So which is minimum cost? Minimum cost is for 22 weeks. Therefore, optimum project duration after crashing activities is 22 weeks. Means we have crashed the project from 26 weeks to 22 weeks. And for that, what is optimum cost expected the optimum project cost is 82,800. So here we have completed this network casting example. If you are having any doubts, any queries, you can give me a call on my mobile number. My mobile number is 98500 98225. My name is Dr. B.J. Mohiti. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.